What is up, gamers, players, casuals, and everything in between? This week, we welcome you to episode 7 of the weekly patch notes. I'm your host, Thamziri. You can find me on Twitter as Thamziri. You can find me on YouTube as Thamziri. I'm a YouTuber and content creator. And catch me on all my gaming content. I also do some TikToks here and there. TikToks, I am Tom Syndicate, but I'll put the thing in the thing, the link and the name and everything so y'all can spell it. But with me are my hosts, starting with Kid Kojo. You can find him on Twitter as Barnacle9 and check out his blog about his personal life and gaming called Before the Clock Strikes 12. Kojo, what is up, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling Gucci. All right, second up is Max, a millennial gamer with takes that you have to hear to believe, ranging from the sane to the ridiculous. Maxwell, what's good, homie?
Hey, man. I'm just here casually dying.
Oh, shit. Howdy, bro. Pull strong, man. But as always, our social media handles and links are in the description, so don't worry about missing out on any of the information. Alongside those links are any information, any information to the articles that we discuss, with their relevancy and all that. But with everything being said, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and follow X to skip. Any and all support is welcomed. Now, let's get into some gaming tidbits. All right, starting with some admin announcements and some catch-ups. I'll go first. So we've been having just a tad bit of an issue trying to get the Hogwarts Legacy. I know I promised you guys that in the last episode. The only issue here is that PlayStation only records for up to an hour. And those of you who have played Hogwarts Legacy will know that the very first start of the game takes way more than an hour. So what's basically going to happen is you guys will most probably get 2 clips coming out. One of which will be an hour and the other is like 30 minutes. That's going to just be, just a tad bit long. And then it will come out with a voiceover. So there is a slight delay on that. And yeah, we're trying to get that out to you guys as soon as possible. But one of our other video content releases that will be coming out in the start of March will be something from your boy Thamziri. I'll be releasing some League of Legends gameplay. And hey, I might release more. Who knows? But yeah, that's just me. Gents, do you guys have any updates, announcements, any housekeeping?
Yes, I've got my share as well. So I also want to let people know that I'm supposed to have been releasing footage for The Last of Us Part 2 of my gameplay. I'm still working on that one. That will be coming out. And also, I wanted to point out that the channel is about to hit 100 total views.
Hey, let's go.
That's a milestone for ourselves. So people continue supporting. We appreciate it. And we're going to continue doing our part to be bringing you the news in the weekly patch notes, but also be doing more content outside of just gaming news that you guys can enjoy and be a part of.
Absolutely. Kojo, anything from your side, bro?
No, nothing. I'm good.
Alrighty. Sweet. All right, let's head into the gaming news with Max. Max, hit us up there, bro.
All right. So first, I'd like to apologize. I should have mentioned this, that I am under the weather, so I'm just struggling through, but I'll do my best. But let's begin. So starting with, I want to talk about Final Fantasy 14. There is a purchasable cosmetics that had on the game that's for sale that has gained the ire of the Sami Council, a group that represents indigenous people from around Finland, Russia, Sweden, and Norway. So the issue in question is that the council feels the cosmetic set is appropriating and eroding their culture, and they demand that Square Enix removes the set. So this group has had appropriation issues occur before in the past with Disney's Frozen, where they took issues with how Disney took their culture, and to remedy the situation, Disney sought their consent in Frozen 2 and involved them in the making of a movie. So at this time of recording, Square Enix has not responded to this group. But basically, this group has control of how their culture is depicted in media and other things like that, and they don't like people just taking free will on depicting their culture, stuff like that. So they obviously trying to rectify all of that and whatnot. I don't know how long it'll take Square to reply, but I'll keep my eye on that to see if it does go anywhere. And then moving along into other news, as you may or may not know, I thought we would reduce in talking about this topic, but I guess it's not going to go away anytime soon. I thought, the news with regards to this would slow down a little bit, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm talking about the Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal. Unfortunately, it seems like it's going to be a recurring thing. But as you may or may not know, in order to sweeten the deal / likelihood of the Microsoft Activision acquisition going through, Microsoft has been doing rounds to ensure governing bodies that the deal won't harm the gaming landscape. In this bid, they tried to make a 10-year deal with Sony to make Call of Duty available on the PS platform, but Sony rejected it, stating that that deal wasn't good enough. So Microsoft instead went to Nintendo, who are happy to play along. This week, the deal was officially made, and COD will be coming to Nintendo platform for the next year on day one. Now, some of you might be like, but this was already announced weeks ago, maybe even months ago. It was announced in December of last year that COD would be coming to Switch, but that's not exactly the case. What was announced last year was just them saying, we are going to make a commitment to bringing COD to the Nintendo platforms. But now, an actual contract has been signed, which is ensuring that this will happen. So, personally, I find this interesting because in the past, Activision has never been interested in putting COD on Nintendo devices because their devices are typically inferior hardware. They cannot handle the game. So this deal is an obvious ploy to make it look like Microsoft are good guys. But that aside, I'm more interested in how this will be achieved. So, as I've said, Nintendo makes inferior hardware, hence the struggle for big budget third-party games on their system, unlike the earlier days of the GameCube. So does this 10-year deal mean that the next hardware, possibly the Switch 2, will be a lot more robust, or does it mean Activision will have to find ways to make their game run on the new system, like how Apex, Doom, and other shooters have had to figure a way around the inferior hardware? So that's interesting to see, and it's also it will be interesting to see what comes out of all of this, because when this announcement was made, people were possibly accurately aligning the announcement of a contract to Microsoft having a meeting with these governing bodies to put in a case forward. So maybe they rushed this contract to say, look, we are pushing to make sure the gaming landscape is a fair and competitive landscape. But that's that for this announcement at the time being. But we all know more news is going to be coming through. Hell, maybe we'll be getting news about this once every month until finally this thing is taken care of and we can just all move along with our lives and see how we're impacted moving forward. But putting that aside and going to the final piece of news that I thought was interesting for this week is that Sony's State of Play occurred this week, and it was focused on PSVR 2 titles with some third-party games, while giving a closer look into Kill the Justice League. So the State of Play itself was very underwhelming. A lot of people just felt cold to it, that it wasn't really that amazing, and I feel I agree with them. So there's not really that much to say, because the State of Play was there to sort of put people's focus on the PSVR 2 to help sales and all of that stuff. So what took a lot of people's attention was Kill the Justice League. Now, due to leaks, we all know that it was going to be a battle pass. But making things worse now is that, like Redfall, the game is going to be an online always game. Even solo playthroughs are going to be always online. And naturally, that has put off a lot of people And I'm glad it has put off a lot of people because I don't want us to be normalizing this always online thing. Like, if your game has a solo component, there's no reason for it to be always online. But if your game is fully multiplayer based, then yes, always online makes complete sense. But that's something I will want to discuss further with you guys in the discussion section about always online games. But that's it.
See, so just so my reaction to that is many times have I encountered games whereby just the solo content of it all was actually something I enjoyed more than the online components. And something like this always turns me off of games. So I highly agree with you in that I would understand why people would be so pissed off towards it. But one more thing, and I guess this ties back to what you had mentioned on last week's gaming news, was the IGN Fan Fest. Guys, the games that I saw on there, oh my goodness. Nah, thanks for plugging us on that last week. Nah, that was very nice to see those games. Hell yeah. Alrighty, moving on to the gaming corner.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, do you have some piece? Hit us up,
just
dude.
one more thing. So a couple of weeks ago or last week, one of the two, Max spoke about how, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about how the big three, Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, were skipping E3. It was reported that those three were skipping E3. Well, Nintendo has officially come out and officially said that they are indeed skipping E3. And this is what they said. We approach our involvement in any event on a case-by-case basis and are always considering various ways to engage with our fans. Since this year's E3 show didn't fit into our plans, we have made the decision to not participate. However, we have been and continue to be a strong supporter of the ESA and E3. So yeah. And they haven't said if they are going to have a Nintendo Direct like always, but I'm assuming they will. But yeah, that's...
So E3 is just straight up dying.
That's what I think as well. It'll just be a matter of time for other companies to also be like, we don't really need an E3. We can do our own thing online, like how Capcom, Ubisoft, and other people have been having their own directs online.
Okay. Well then, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alrighty. Now, moving on to the gaming corner. Kojeezy, hit us up there, bro.
Okay, yeah. This is gonna, just bear with me. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth different tabs on my laptop, so just bear with me if I slow down a bit. So, let's start off with the weekly releases, or the releases for this week, which was quite a bit, but let's see if we can get through it. First up, we have a game called Aka R on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, released on February 21st, 2023, and is currently sitting at a 69 on Metacritic. Nice. Next, we have a game called Like a Dragon Ishin, which was released on February 21st, 2023, on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, currently sitting at an 81 on Metacritic. Next, we have a game called Atomic Heart, which was released on February 21st, 2023, on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, sitting at a 71 on Metacritic.
71?
That's
71. Far lower than I was expecting it to get.
It's higher than I expected it, to be honest.
I thought it was going to get a 75 or 77.
It's the studio's first game, so it's understandable. So yeah, now moving on to the barrage of games I'm about to throw at you. This is all because of the PlayStation VR 2, which was released on this 22nd of February 2023. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of games at you guys. And yeah, so let's and all of these games were released on February 22nd, 2023, until I say otherwise. I don't want to keep saying, oh, this game was released February 22nd, 2023. Oh, just so all of these games, until I say otherwise, were released on February 22nd, 2023. Okay, first game we have is a game called After the Fall. These are all on PSVR 2 only so far. So yeah, first game is a game called After the Fall. Second game is a game called Altair Breaker. Third game called Cities VR Enhanced Edition. Fourth game is called Cosmonia's High. Fifth game called Demio. Sixth game called Drums Rock. Second game called Dyschronia Chronos Alternate. Eighth game called Fantavision. Ninth game called Firewall Ultra. 10th game called Gran Turismo 7. And 11th game called Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is sort of like the killer app for the PSVR 2 from what it seems like the way they market it to be. And it's currently sitting at a 79 on Metacritic. Next, we have a game called Job Simulator, the 2050 archives. Next up, we have a game called Jurassic World Aftermath Collection. Next up, we have a game called Kayak VR Mirage, which is currently sitting at a 76 on Metacritic. Next, we have a game called Kizuna AI Touch the Beats, which in addition to PSVR 2 was also released on the PlayStation 5 standard. We have Moss and Moss Book 2 bundle. We have NFL Pro Era. We have No Man's Sky. We have Pavlov VR. We have Pistol Whip. We have Puzzling Places. We have Resident Evil Village. And then we have Res Infinite, which currently is sitting at a Metacritic score of 88. We have Runner. We have Song in the Smoke. We have Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. We have Synth Riders. We have Tentacular. And then we have Tetris Effect Connected, which is currently sitting at a 95 on Metacritic, which is amazing. We have a game called The Last Clockwinder. We have a game called The Light Brigade. We have a game called The Tale of Onogoro. We have a game called Thumper, which was also released on PlayStation 5 base. We have a game called Townsman VR. We have a game called Vacation Simulator, which sounds really cool. We have a game called What the Bat. We have a game called Zenith The Last City. We have a game called Zombieland, Headshot, Fever Reloaded. And that is it for the PSVR 2 games. Well, at least if there's one thing that people, when consoles usually come out, they're like, oh, there's a lack of games. Nobody can say that about the PSVR 2. Nobody. But yeah, so this next game called Digimon World Next Order was released on Switch and PC on February 22nd, 2023. Next up, we have a game called Blood Bowl 3, which was released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 23rd of February 2023. We have a game called Company of Heroes 3, which was released on the 23rd of February 2023. We have a game called Grim Guardians Demon Purge, which was released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 23rd of February 2023. We have a game called Clive and Wrench, released on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on February 24th, 2023. We have a game called Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which was released on the Switch on February 24th, 2023. And finally, we have Octopath Traveler 2, which was released on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on February 24th, 2023. And that is it for the releases of the week. Jesus Christ. Anybody want to add anything? Comment on anything?
No, that was hectic, bro.
Dude.
That was hectic.
Dude. That was, yeah. Now, moving on to the other corner of the gaming corner. Not much to say, except remember everybody's favorite video game the day before?
Oh god, what now about it? Yeah.
Well, nothing bad. It's just that they released a devlog, called The Day Before Devlog Live at Fantastic, where it was narrated by this woman who was on their communications team. And basically they were showing the game from before and after. So they were showing the game from what it was like when it was announced, to to its development from 2020 to 21 to 2022, 2021 to 2022. And it showed how it went from
all of these things are like desperate attempts to convince people like, hey guys, it's not a scam. Please believe us. It's not a scam.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like it really, like, and they went above and beyond because they were showing you like, hey guys, this is what it looked like. We started this game, like, it's not that we just came up with assets, which is something I'll discuss. But it's not that, they were like, look at this game. This is what it looked like in 2020, which it looked like Fortnite, where you could destruct, you could drive cars into buildings and they'll destruct. You could run through fences. So it looked like Fortnite-esque. And people were like, yo, that looked cool. Why did they get rid of the destruction? That looked awesome. So they were like, they moved away from the cartoony style to a more realistic style, and people were like, that is very bold to change art style and art directions in development. Like, it is very bold. But so they just showed the game. They were talking about it. A few things that they said were red flags. Like, some people latched onto how they voice crack. Some people latched onto how they were like, they said that they were fostering a culture of volunteering. So they were like that this game is only made by volunteers, or that the volunteers who work in this game are not getting paid because they're volunteers. It's iffy. They don't know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that vlog, as Max said, it seems like an attempt to say, hey guys, this is a real game. We've been working on it for so long, whatever. However,
where does the company come from?
Fantastic, I think, is Indonesia. I could be very wrong.
Okay, I was expecting.
I'll find that out for you. Right?
Eastern European country.
Actually, wait. It says Russia.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, but that doesn't make any sense.
I was genuinely thinking something like that, but I was like, you know what? Let me not be stereotypical. Let me not be closed-minded. Let's just wait and hear the answer. Apparently it's still under work, and I was just like, no way these guys are trying to claim they're still working on Abandoned.
It's still a thing, don't worry about it, it'll come out. So just going back briefly,
who do you guys think will release their game first?
Fantastic with the debut.
Yeah,
it's coming out November, or it's slated for November.
Watch they'll delay it.
They probably will. But yeah, so just one last thing that some people pointed out after we talked about the whole 10-minute developer, what was it called? 10-minute gameplay reveal with the dump truck and everything. Yeah. So some people pointed out that they used assets from asset packs, which there's nothing wrong with. I mean, that's what asset packs are for. Like, houses, trucks, they saw that they were taken from
to make things from scratch.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. However, some people pointed out that those asset packs were only available from December, which, if that is true, is very worrying, because it means that they demo together sometime between December and now. Which
wouldn't surprise me, because remember what I was saying, that the way that thing looked, it either looked like it's a very early build and it just gave that to pacify people, or B, it was a last minute thing where they're like, let's just make something to get people off our backs.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. But yeah, that's it from the day before for now. Keep you guys updated, and that's it from the gaming corner, pretty much.
Hey, Kojo, what about haven't you been playing the Wolong Dynasty?
Oh yes. I've played.
Busy enjoying his best life with games and doesn't even want to talk about it.
I was going to talk about it after the fact, like after I finished the demo, but I can talk about it. I've played a little bit of it. It is made by Team Ninja, who I believe also made Neo. So a lot of people are looking forward to. So it is in the style of a Souls-like type of game, where you have your quote unquote bonfires where if you rest at them, the enemies respawn. You know, they've also taken something from. They've also taken certain elements from other games, but yeah, it's pretty much a Souls-like, which I wasn't really aware going into it. To be honest, if I knew that going in, I wouldn't have downloaded the demo because I'm not a Souls-like person. But it is a Souls-like type of game where the difficulty is there, and it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of annoying for me. But if you guys are fans of Souls-like games, Neo, that type of genre, Dark Souls, Elden, that type of thing, I think you guys will have fun in this. Will have fun with this setting and this game. I'm still yet to finish it. I've played like 30 minutes of it. I paused at a certain point. I'm like, because of electricity issues, so I had to stop at a certain point. So I'll go back to it and see if I can actually finish the demo. It looks like the demo is quite chunky. I think there are like 2 chapters. So it looks like it's quite a heavy demo. So I urge people to go give that the demo. It's a limited time. I don't know when it ends. So just keep an eye out. Just go download the demo. See if I want to at least finish the demo and be like, yes, I finished it. But I might not. Just because again, Souls-like is not my cup of tea. Nothing against them. It's just not my cup of tea. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated on that as I play it. Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. So anyways, peace. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. Just a quick reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow so we can get the show to more peeps. Once again, I'm your host, Thamziri, and with me are Maxwell and Kid Kojo. All right, let's keep this conversation going. Now, moving on to the content creator news. Kojo, I see we're going to be speaking about the exact same thing. Well, exact same person. Let's put it like that. But I guess I'll start with my part, then we follow on to yours. So in my part, Aiden Ross is in deep water after he live streamed adult content on Twitch's rival streaming platform, Kick. Right now, despite being partnered with the Amazon-owned platform, Ross has been streaming on the Trainwreck's TV-backed platform. Okay, but now the question lies: is Aiden Ross going to be cancelled after this? So the internet was extremely critical of the streamer because not only did he stream, adult content, but it was to mostly an underage audience. Okay, so now with this being said, he's obviously being heavily criticized by quite a lot of content creators, like across the board, which is extremely interesting because we've seen the likes of other people do this before, and they still have their careers. Which is hilarious. But we will see what's going to happen now with Aiden Ross because he's, well, arguably so, a bigger name than the previous people that have been banned for doing the exact same thing. So, there's not much I can really say. We'll just have to wait for another update with regards to this. But it's one of those whereby we don't have to go so deep into it because, like I said, many other streamers have done something similar to this. We've seen them been banned permanently, and almost never heard from them again. Whereby now we have Aiden Ross doing the exact same thing, being a big name, and it's just interesting to see where things will go on from there. But yeah, that's just a quick update with regards to that. Kojo, your bit of the news?
Yeah, so sticking with Aiden Ross, tell me, perfect segue. So it seems like so far he has avoided a ban on voice crack. It seems like he has avoided a ban on Kick. So far, as of the recording of this podcast, he has not been banned on Kick, but people are like, because the main thing is about Kick that Aiden Ross has had was like, oh, the terms of service are very lax, there's no terms of service, whatever, which there is. People went and found out that no, there is terms of service, and in the terms of service it says you cannot do, show adult content on the platform, whatever. But I don't know if Kick is going to do anything about it. And it just hit me. I don't know if they're going to do anything about it because of what I'm about to talk about next, which is, it seems that Aiden Ross has actually made the move to Kick. Because on his Aiden Live YouTube channel, which I believe is his main YouTube channel, He posted a video that was parodying LeBron James's The Decision. What's it called?
That is so cringe.
The Decision. Yeah, it is. The Decision video that LeBron James did.
When he was changing team.
Yeah, when he was changing teams, exactly. So it seemed like he parodied that, and at the end, it was like, yep, he's going to kick. So it seems like it's official. All but official. Well, I mean, again, it's on his official channel, so it seems like it is. He is going to be streaming on Kick. I don't know if he's going to be doing both Kick and Twitch at the same time. Now I don't know. So we're yet to see what's going to happen with that. But joining him on Kick is a content creator called Karina Kopf, who is, she's a content creator. She's also joining Hayden Ross on Kick. It's official. So he's not going to be alone. Neither will he or Trainwreck be alone so far. But yeah, Kick, they've had a fair bit of controversies on Kick. But we'll see if Kick is going to be a real contender to Twitch, because competition is healthy. Twitch has been sitting comfortably for a long time. I mean, yes, they've had YouTube live stream, but YouTube live streaming is a little different. We've had Mixer, which came and went. Rest in peace. And then there's still Facebook gaming, which is still going on. Shout outs to Facebook.
That is still alive.
I think it is, last I checked. So shout outs to Facebook gaming. So yeah, we'll see if Kick can rival Twitch, but that is it from my side about the content creator news.
All right, I don't have anything on esports, so Kojo, if you've got anything, pop it over.
Yeah, I've got quite a few on esports. Let's start off with Evo. So Evo is the fighting game competition that runs every single year. And they announced the lineup for this year, which is going to be Street Fighter 6, which is coming out, which will be the first appearance because it's brand new. It'll be the first appearance of Street Fighter 6. We have Guilty Gear Strive, second appearance. Dragon Ball FighterZ, fourth appearance. Tekken 7, 7th appearance. King of Fighters 15, second appearance. Melty Blood Type Lumina, second appearance. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, 3rd appearance. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, 8th appearance, which a lot of people were excited to see, which I wonder why, but yeah, so Evo will run from the 4th of August to the 6th of August in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. So, and each main stage Evo game will have a prize pool of $25,000. So that is now sticking with fighting, we move on to Capcom, who have announced a competition, first ever Street Fighter 6 tournament. They've announced the first place prize. Sorry, they announced the first place prize for that, which is a whopping $1 million for the first place. The whole prize pool is $2 million, but the first place person is walking away with $1 million. So that's for the Capcom Cup X. And so a lot of people have had their minds blown, like Justin Wong, who is a well-known fighting game community member, Street Fighter. He's come out and he said, what the WTF, 1 million for first. Punk, who's another fighting game player, he's come out and said 2 million, question mark. A lot of people they're losing their minds over this, which is a huge prize pool of $2 million and $1 million. I don't think the fighting game community has ever seen such a huge prize pool before. Which is, it's going to be incredible. We'll wait and see. Now, on to some not news. The Guard is an esports org full of content creators, producers, directors, esports teams under them. They have announced massive layoffs across multiple departments, which is a shame. So they've laid off many people. Of course, their creative teams and their production, especially people who are in charge of the behind the scenes work that none of us will ever get to look at. Their behind the scenes stuff. We have one of the producers who goes by the name of Hunter on Twitter, sorry. He said, breaking, layoffs have now hit the guard as they lay off all the content, social, talent, and creative teams. Sources, myself, LMAO. I don't know, that's not funny. But the way he said that was funny because he also likes to tweet out news that's happening, kind of like Jake Lucky. But so I thought he was just tweeting news. So I thought he was just saying, oh, trust me, bro, I'm a source. But he said that because he works at the guard or worked at the guard. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, it looks like he lost his job. A bunch of people have also lost their jobs. However, it seems that they're keeping their esports teams, according to Twitch streamer / pro Apex player Rambo, who plays for the guard. Rambo. He said that they are on a stream. He said that they are focusing on their esports teams, which is interesting if you take his word at it. However, people are like, this makes no sense because the owner of the guard, Stan Kroenke, he is worth $12.9 billion. Now, if you don't know who Stan Kroenke is, he owns many teams. Many teams. He owns the basketball team Denver Nuggets. He owns Arsenal Football Club. He owns the Call of Duty team LA Gorillas. He owns the Overwatch team LA Gladiators, and he owns the arena football team Colorado Crush. He owns a lot of like big name sports teams and stuff like that. And Ludwig, in his video, he was like, it takes 0.1. I think he said 0.1 or 0.01. One of the two. 0.1 to run the guard. So he doesn't understand why the guard is just going under like this. Which is a shame, guys. You don't want to see people lose their jobs. So yeah.
The Kroenke family are very, what's the word I would want to use? Like, they're very stingy with how they use their money. When it comes to the American football side of things, I don't know how they run that, but when it comes to how they run the Arsenal Football Club, Arsenal fans will tell you that it's frustrating having those guys as owners, and for the longest time they've wanted their owners to change until this year when Arsenal started performing well. So I don't know if Arsenal fans still want a new owner, or they're like, you know what, as long as we're winning, we can do with these guys. So you saying that Stan Kroenke owns this business, it doesn't really surprise me that they're struggling with money, because especially American style owners, they are more invested in making profit than investing in the company. So if the business wasn't really making that much money, then it makes sense to me.
All right, thanks for that insight, because I was like listening to Ludwig and I was like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like people are always like, dude, you're worth this much money, just put some of it into this team. But like as Max said, it's it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's
so hopefully the
about
people
making money, not putting in money.
Yeah, true. So hopefully the people who lost their jobs at the guard, hopefully they bounce back. Yeah, that's it from my side on the esports news.
Alrighty, thanks Holmes. Alright, now moving on to the discussion section. I don't really have much to discuss. I think I will have a lot to discuss, obviously, after I've released the first video of Hog Wheezy. But yeah, anything from anyone?
Yeah, I just want to lightly touch upon, I don't want it to blow up into a whole full discussion for the sake of time, but I just want to lightly touch upon the place we find ourselves with battle passes and live service of, I encourage gamers to continue protesting with their wallet, because I'm beginning to realize that in as much as people hate these things, we're still seeing companies producing these type of content for game. And I'm beginning to suspect that it's these companies saying, you know what, will tire these guys out. We'll continue pushing for this thing until it's normalized and nobody can do anything about it. That it becomes our everyday, like how there's so many other gaming trends, negative gaming trends that we've just gotten accustomed to and just move on with our life. For example, microtransactions. So I feel like companies are trying to push through with this where they want it to be normalized as opposed to saying, okay, people really hate this, let's not do this. You know, like for example, how games went from $60 to $70. The only reason I'm not fussed about $60 to $70 is because, you know, living outside of America, Europe, living outside of a first world country, you're already paying a hell of a lot more for the game. So this is just Europeans and Americans catching up to the rest of the world. So the rest of the world is like, yeah, we've already been paying well above $70. And I suppose some people in the UK will also argue that no, they've been also paying a pretty penny for that. But basically, it's irritating that these companies are pushing for this and they don't seem to care. And what worries me is right now we're going to be seeing people fighting it, but eventually people are just going to give up and be like, yeah, you know what, it is what it is, and just go with it.
Yeah, for me, who's been someone that has had a World of Warcraft subscription since like 2004, the only thing I pretty much have to say is so long as you're getting your value out of the money that you pay, then that's fine. But if you're going to be paying like a battle pass whereby the grind to rise through the battle pass tiers is far more than what you can get in terms of actually earning back, you know, every bit of cash for the, you know, gameplay that you get, then it's just not worth it. That's just my opinion. Kojo, I don't know what you have to say about that, bro. Anything else?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it depends, because I actually just watched a video about the downfall. It's all like the states of battle passes and how one game came, introduced it, and then every game has followed, but then they've done it worse. And obviously the game that introduced it is Fortnite. As far as we know, Fortnite was the first to introduce the battle. I could be wrong, guys, you can correct me. But Fortnite came, you know, they were like, before battle passes, it was all loot boxes, and we pushed back against loot because like, no, it's a chance, you don't know what you're gonna get, blah 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 blah. Whereas people praised Fortnite for its monetization. It's like, look, you know what you're getting, you buy the battle pass, you get stuff, even if you don't buy it, free stuff, which are not anything worth writing home about, but they're like, hey, you get some free stuff. If you want to pay for premium stuff, you get some premium stuff. And other games saw that, and every game has run with it since. Like literally every game. Every game you can think of under the sun. So it's one of those things where battle passes have their place in time. And when I saw the leak, going back to Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad, when I saw the leak a month ago, I was like, oh no, this has now, I now know what type of game this is. Because at first I thought it was just an open world take on, you know, like from the developers of the Arkham series. I thought it was just an open world take on the Suicide Squad, whatever. But when I saw the battle pass, I know what game this is now. I know what exactly it's going to be. And at the state of play, they showed off depth deep to the game, and they pretty much confirmed everything that I was not dreading per se, but for lack of a better word, let's say dreading. You know, as characters gonna be released after launch, new stages, new missions, whatever, which is carbon copy Marvel's Avengers. Like, it is. So without dragging this conversation on too long, I don't even know where I was going with this, but battle passes have their time and they have their place, but to shoehorn them in game, like to shoehorn them to Kill the Justice League, I don't think that's the way to go. And that's what Warner Brothers, or not just Warner Brothers, that's what publishers see, and they're like, yep, that's where the money is, that's where we're going. And Max says vote with your wallet, and that's true, you can vote with your wallet. However, there are people who are going to counterbalance that and buy these things, which cancels out the whole vote with your wallet type of thing, if that makes sense. So it's like we're fighting a losing battle here. But I'm not saying people shouldn't vote with their wallets. They should, but we just need to convince more people to do that. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Aware. All right, now moving on to the last bit of the show, the news blitz with Maxwell. Hit us up with that speed roundup, man.
All right, so here we go. First, we will begin with Bungie winning $4.3 million in a case against Destiny 2 cheat sellers. Then, this week, it was announced that Shinji Mikami will be leaving Tango Gameworks in the coming months. He was one of the brains behind the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Hi-Fi Rush. Moving on from there, we got Hogwarts Legacy having sold over 12 million copies since release, 2 weeks out, and it sold over 12 million copies, and it has made over $850 million in profit. And lastly, we've got a Mortal Kombat 12 has been announced to be releasing this year, meaning gamers who play fighting games will be eating good this year, with Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and MK12 all coming out this year. And that's the news blitz.
That's what I wanted to talk about. That was the last news thing I had in my mind. I forgot about it. Was the Mortal Kombat thing. Just to add on to that, it was announced on an earnings call. It wasn't like NetherRealm has come out and officially announced it. It was announced on an earnings call, which is they're like, oh, Mortal Kombat 12 is coming out this year, which is an earnings call. The higher ups are not going to lie to their investors, so you might as well just take it as a confirmation. And Ed Boon, who's known for trolling on Twitter,
yeah, I was about to say
having
Ed
a
Boon
very
also
funny
on his Twitter.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
so did anybody get the
denied.
Injustice 3 announcement or something like that? As a joke, obviously. So it seems like it's all about confirmed. It's all official that we are getting Mortal Kombat 12, which, as Max said, fighting game fans, man, we have Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 12. What a year. What a year. So yeah, that's it. Just wanted to add that.
All right, away. Well then, I guess that is it for the show. Gents, thank you so much. And to all of y'all listening, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow for more, whichever is applicable to your preferred platform. We make sure that we are everywhere. Otherwise, if you have any comments, suggestions, or just want to say hi, you can do so in the comments section. That is all for this week, and we'll catch you guys up again next week. So be good, stay healthy, and join us again for more gaming tidbits. This has been X2Skip, and peace out.